हमने हमने तेल नहीं डाला. It's for the India. When you do so obvious, when you kind of create bahana to shift your own issue to other countries, there will be analysis. And what we have done is basically analysis. This the analysis, and most of the people even in India now believe that the primary motive of this cancellation was diversion of the domestic issue to an external border. And please also keep that in mind, that despite all that, yesterday we again offered that we are ready to open Kartarpur border. That was a big offer even now. But the problem is, it seems that BJP and Prime Minister Modi has no care for the people of Punjab. They have no respect for the people of they have no respect for the feelings of the Punjabis on the Indian side. They have no care for Kashmiris. So I think the Kashmiris and Punjabis are suffering under BJP, and that is another part. Again, this is analysis.
Right. Speaking of Kartarpur, a very significant statement that came from you, Mr. Chaudhry. Is that proposal on opening up of the Kartarpur border still open? Mr. Qureshi is in New York. There is going to be a SAARC Council of Foreign Ministers meeting on the 27th. Will Mr. Qureshi float that idea or make that proposal, even if there is no meeting with Sushma Swaraj in New York?
Well, frankly, the Chief of Army Staff, when on the occasion of the oath of the Prime Minister, categorically made this offer to our friend and our guest Navjot Singh Sidhu here, and he said we are ready to open that, and that offer is very much valid. Yesterday, even in an interview with an Indian media, I also reiterated what has been offered before. Now it's only about the issue of formality. I would suggest it's the question of the Indian citizens' visit facilitation to Pakistan. So, in my view, Indian government has to issue or maybe send some formal letter or anything that to kind of move forward on this. But as far as we are concerned, we have already done more. Even on the ground, we have I would say created, not only that we have created an environment for that, we have already we are moving physically towards that. We have in our mind, we have completed the homework on that. We have a kind of criteria that how can we use this facility, and basically we want to facilitate the citizens of India, and it's a religious belief and we respect that, and we want to basically it was just another initiative of peace.
Will a formal proposal come our way, Mr. Chaudhry? Will a formal proposal come our way in New York?
I think it should come from India, because their citizens are going to be facilitated. So we have shown our willingness. Now the formal invitation or the formal move has to be made by India, in my view.
India no longer can wait for a proposal. Now you're saying India will have to make that proposal to Pakistan for the opening up of the Kartarpur border? Kartarpur corridor?
Well, I'm just explaining that logically, the facility is for the citizens of India, so it must come from India. As far as we are concerned, we are ready to open that. We are ready to kind of formalize this arrangement, and we are ready to. We are having, in fact, even physically, we have made the changes that those are required on the ground. So I would say that yes, this is a facility. Not people of Pakistan will not be able to enjoy this facility. Well, and this is for the Indian people, Indian citizens who will have the facility to visit Pakistan without visa. So Pakistani territory without visa. So obviously the proposal must come from India. This is what the logic says.
Right. A couple of final questions over here, Mr. Chaudhry. Now you're talking about the Sikh community, people-to-people contact, and they're very important to India as well. India, in fact, has in the past floated this idea at very many foreign secretary level and high official level meetings between India and Pakistan. But there is a major concern that India has now, and that has to do with the Khalistani elements that we see in certain gurudwaras in Pakistan. And those Khalistani elements, we know that they're Khalistani elements is given the fact that the Indian High Commissioner, Indian officials from the High Commission were not allowed to enter Gurudwaras in Pakistan. Is Pakistan going to look at India's concerns and contain that problem? Because how can we open up corridors if these elements exist in Pakistan and in these religious places, which are very important to India?
You see, we are suffering from a syndrome of, as we call it, a शक का जो एक दूसरे के ऊपर है. So we are suffering from this syndrome. We don't trust each other. So all these actions and all these offers that we are making are primarily to create that trust. There's a trust deficit between the two countries, between the two, I would say the other responsibles also. So how to move forward? The problem is that we have fought 3 wars. We are continuously fighting from 7 decades. We can go on and fight for another 7 decades. No problem with that, because neighbors cannot be changed. We will remain neighbor of India. India will remain neighbor of us. So the only thing what we believe and what Prime Minister Imran Khan's idea is that if you want to fight poverty, the only way is that we normalize our relationship.
पंजाब की दूसरी खबरों के लिए सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारा YouTube चैनल पंजाब तक।